Hi, Ling 101. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do phonological analysis using an example from Japanese. So our goal here is going to be to look at the sounds s and sh and figure out if those are two different phonemes in Japanese or if they are allophones of the same phoneme, and if so, what is the rule determining their distribution. So we have a list of Japanese words that are written phonetically with their English translations. And so we're going to look at this data in order to analyze the sounds s and sh. So the first thing that you always want to do is look for minimal pairs. So in this case, that means we want to see if we can find two or more words that are exactly the same, except one has s where the other one has sh. So for example, we've got this word watashi, which means I or me. So if we could find a different word, watashi, that had a different meaning, then that would be a minimal pair, and that would be evidence that sh and s are different phonemes in Japanese. However, if you look through all of these words, you will not find any minimal pairs. So that tells us that these sounds might be allophones of the same phoneme. And so that means that the next step is to list the environments where we find each of the sounds. So the next thing that we want to do is go through the word list and find every place where the sounds s or sh appear. And then we're going to make a list of all the environments where s appears and all the environments where sh appears. And when we talk about environments, that means the sounds that come immediately before and after the sound that we're looking at. So for example, in the first word, we find sh in between two vowels, a and e. So we're going to put that under the list of environments for sh. So we've got a underscore e, and remember, underscore indicates that that is where the relevant sound appears. Then in the next word, we've got the s sound appearing at the beginning of a word before the vowel o. So we're going to put that under the list of environments for s. And so remember, we use the number sign to indicate a word boundary. So we've got number sign underscore o. And then we want to do exactly the same thing for every word in the list every time that we find either sh or s. And then we're going to eventually get a complete list of environments where either one of these sounds appears in this word list. So if you do that, then these are the lists that you should end up with. And so once you have those complete lists, then the next thing you want to do is look for patterns. So look at all the sounds that come before or after sh, look at all the sounds that come before or after s, and see if there's anything that any of those groups of sounds have in common. So if you look at the list of environments for sh, look specifically at the sounds that come after it. Do you notice anything? You should notice that the sound sh is always followed by the vowel e, written with a lowercase I in the IPA. Okay, so do we ever find that vowel sound coming after s? Let's look at the list of environments for s. And we'll see that s is followed by all the other vowels, so we can find it before a, before e, o, and u, but never before e. So it seems like we have found our pattern. Sh always appears before e, and s appears before any other vowel. So now we are ready to write our rule. So based on this data, we can write the rule that in Japanese, the phoneme s, and notice that this is written in between slashes, not square brackets, because we're talking about a phoneme. The phoneme s appears as esh before the vowel e, and it appears as s elsewhere. And so now we have a rule that accounts for all of our data. So we are done with this phonological analysis.